Thank you, Colin, for taking the time out. I have a couple of questions for you today. Can you briefly describe your childhood development as a player and what influenced your passion for the game early on?
I grew up in a small town. I really didn't get playing soccer until I was about 10 years old. And then it was something that one of my best friend's fathers had played growing up. My father had played growing up, so we kind of got into it as a young age, but there wasn't really any on the TV, so it was just an interest that me and my friends had, and we stuck with it while we were younger.
Great, thank you. What led you to Dominican?
A few things. I had gone to a community college for 2 years prior to Dominican, and it was about 2 hours north of Dominican. And when I was there, I knew some players that had played here at Dominican before transferring, and I knew they were good players, and I had looked up their record, and they had a good season. And I didn't come visit. I had just met the coach over a few phone calls, and I don't know, my mother basically told me she thought it was the right move, so I came.
Nice. How would you describe your experience as a student athlete while you were at Dominican?
It was great. I loved it here. I made a lot of friends that I still have, and relationships that I still continue with. I met my wife here. So Dominican's a small school. The soccer program was very, very good when I was here. It still is very, very good. And I was fortunate to come here and play here, and the memories that I'll always have from here.
Nice. When you think back at your time at Dominican, what memories come to mind first, both as a student and as a player?
As a player, I would have to say in 2005 when we had a very, very successful season. We were #1 in the region, #7 in the nation, and we made it to the NCAA Sweet 16. So that was memorable, and we lost in the Sweet 16, so that made it even more memorable because it was painful. As a student, basically it was just my relationships that I built here with my friends, my colleagues, and I think it's a really good small school that I enjoyed a lot.
Yes. As you were just talking about, during your time at Dominican, you were a part of a team that is a staple in the program's history forever. What advice would you give to future Dominican soccer players looking to make the same mark during their time as players in DC?
In my opinion, the difference is just the work rate. We were willing to never give up, never quit. We didn't necessarily have the most talented team, in my opinion, that has come through here, and I've been here for almost 11 years now, so I've seen a few generations of teams come through. And that 2005 team that was so successful was just a lot of guys that were a little older and more experienced and really worked hard. So my advice would be to any kid is your commitment and your passion and your competitiveness. Whenever you step out on the field, you have to bring it, and that's what we did. And for these young kids that are on the team now and the older ones, it can go quick and it will be over with, and you want to look back and remember it and show that you achieved something.
Great. If there were any, what influence or inspirations led you to wanting to become the head coach of the soccer program?
I don't know if there was any influences. I've had some great coaches over my years that have made me enjoy the game more. I've had some coaches that maybe didn't make me enjoy the game, but soccer's always been my passion. I knew from a young age that whatever I did, I'd be involved with it. And I'm fortunate enough to have gotten the job here at Dominican because of people like Joe Clinton, and I was very thankful. And I believe I'm going to coach many, many years, whether it's 5-year-olds, 20-year-olds. I don't care the level. I just enjoy the sport.
Nice. What's it feel like running the program you once played for? What's it feel like running the program you once played for?
Oh, it's fantastic to have played at Dominican. It was only for 2 years, but I really, really loved my time here as a player. And then I was an assistant coach as I stuck around for 4.5 years, and then to get the head coaching job was something special. I remember my first day, my first training, I was extremely nervous, but now it's easy, and I just enjoy the camaraderie with all the guys, and the high level that they play at. It's very, very competitive, and it's fun to be a part of.
Thank you. You won your first CAC championship as a new coach in 2012. Describe the feelings and emotions you went through that season and what it felt like to win the tournament all the way in the end.
Yeah, it was a weird season because we had a really good team. We had a slow start like sometimes Dominican does, but it's because we always have a very difficult schedule. And for me, I almost didn't believe it because we won in a penalty kick shootout, and it was against one of our biggest rivals, and you know, that day it was great. The kids, I mean, for me it was wonderful, but as a player I had won championships. As a coach it's a little bit different, and as a coach you kind of just want to step back and let the players enjoy that moment. So I was happy, I was very excited, but you know, seeing the guys' faces and the way they reacted, that's the special thing.
Thank you. Since you've been here, every season Dominican makes a statement in the CAC. What are your predictions for the upcoming 2006 fall season?
Look, I think we have a very strong team with everybody that's returning. We have a deep team, and there's new players coming in that are very, very good. I always think Dominican will be one of the best in the conference. I think we have a better shot than anybody, if not anybody, to win it, and that's the goal. The goal is to win the conference every single year and to go to the national tournament.
Awesome. I have one more question for you. What advice would you give to any student athlete who wishes to someday become the head coach of the program they were once a part of as a player, just as you were?
I would just say follow your dream, follow your passion, whether it's coaching or teaching, whatever it may be. I had a passion for the sport. I love Dominican because of the family environment that it gives. And you know, it's not always easy, whether you have to be an assistant here or you have to pick up cones or pick up balls or maybe listen to someone that you might not agree with 100% every single day, but it's something you've got to stick with and you've got to stick through it. It's never going to be easy, but you know, I had my hard times as an assistant coach here, but I stuck with it and I stuck with it and I worked extremely hard, and that's how I got the job. So just, if everything I